welcome to Coffee Break. I'm Mary Frankie.
And I'm Brian Felder. Now, today's show is all about entertaining. Mary and I are going to be giving you some of our tips and suggestions on how to throw a great party.
And later on, I will be in the kitchen with Chef Mike Chapter cooking up some easy appetizers. Welcome back. So today's episode is all about entertaining, and my roommate and I recently had a party, and she had no idea what she was doing, so she asked me for some of my top tips. And one thing that I think is so important is you must have a good musical playlist.
I think it's really funny that you said that because I think most people would definitely agree with you. I'm one of those people, when I go to a party, I don't really pay attention to music, which is kind of odd. I know I'm probably the weird man out here, but I agree with you. That's a good tip for most people. I don't know. I'm crazy.
That's really funny. Probably because you play it all the time, though, that
Maybe.
You just don't notice it as much.
Maybe.
But I think it's important to have good variety and whatnot. And something else that I find really important is how the flow of the party is going to work. From the time people enter, where your food is going to be, where people can put their coats, where the drinks are going to be, I just think it helps make the party go smoothly. And Brian, I know you entertain all the time. What are some of your top tips to share with us?
Yeah, well, we do, and I'm really glad you were talking about the flow because, we live in a place where our floor plan is pretty open, and so the one problem that happens a lot is that, people come in and everyone gathers around the bar or the main kitchen area because, obviously that's where most people put their food and drink. So one thing I really like to do, and if you have room in your home, I would highly suggest this, but making little stations throughout your house. If you can kind of spread things out and force your crowd, especially for a larger party, to kind of spread out and go to different areas so that not everyone's in one area and it's all packed. That's one of my main tips, so I'm glad you mentioned that. I also, one of my main pet peeves when I go to a party, I hate showing up, a couple hours later after it starts, the food is either out or a lot of times you can tell this food's been sitting there for several hours.
It's so gross.
I totally agree. So one thing I do, if I'm making a bunch of items, I'll maybe make double batches. So I'll put half of it out at the start of the party and then kind of mix things in, in the middle of the party so that people arriving later, the food is still fresh. And I think that's really important.
Okay.
And then my last, tip would be that, at least in my case, I have a lot of friends who feel really weird about eating in public or don't like, scarfing down in front of a bunch of people. So I would say, just keeping it simple. A lot of finger foods, a lot of appetizers, things that are easier to eat. And a lot of times for the host too, it's a little bit easier to prepare than obviously main courses. But speaking of appetizers, I know that you're going to be in the kitchen here in a little bit with Chef Mike Chapter doing some appetizers. So that'll be fun.
I know, I'm excited.
Before we do that though, I want to remind you that we have this weekend getaway package from the Hotel Blackhawk in Davenport, Iowa. Now this is an amazing hotel. It's a boutique hotel about 3 hours from Chicago. And the weekend package getaway includes a one-night stay in a luxurious guest suite, dinner for two at the renowned Bix Bistro, breakfast for two, 2 hours of free bowling in the Martini Lounge, and an in-room massage for two. For your chance to win, make sure to like the Coffee Break page on Facebook by January 31st. Make sure to check out their website at hotelblackhawk.com. We'll be right back. The level of luxury that Hotel Blackhawk offers does not stop in the entrance, lobby, or signature restaurant. Every guest is greeted with posh accommodations as they enter their room. While the rooms all have different layouts, all are stunning and beautifully designed. Many of the guest rooms resemble the 2-bed, 2-bath residential suites, which include large showers and a jacuzzi tub, office areas, large kitchens, washer and dryer in unit, and private patios with beautiful views.
The hotel also features a full-service spa, Spa Luce. They have a full fitness center, and a pool with an outdoor deck. And for a fun evening of entertainment and martinis, make sure you don't miss Blackhawk Bowling and Martini Lounge.
Welcome back. Here we are with Chef Mike from Urban Kitchen. Mike, tell us about your show.
Well, Urban Kitchen is really all about easy, fresh ideas that you can make at home that don't require a lot of extra work, a lot of extra utensils and equipment. So things that you can make in a small urban space, but that are still relatively simple and delicious.
Great. Well, I'm hungry, so I want to jump right in. What are we making today?
Well, in the spirit of simple, we're going to talk about some really great appetizers that you can do for a New Year's Eve party or any cocktail party, really.
Okay.
And so we're going to make 4 different kinds out of one simple ingredient, which is phyllo dough.
Okay.
And so the phyllo dough you can actually buy in the freezer section. It's found in where you buy like frozen pie or frozen desserts. And it's really important that you let it thaw out in the fridge, usually the night before, because it's really hard to work with if it's not totally frozen.
So it says it's a pastry sheet. Is it sweet or?
It's not sweet. It's
Okay.
it's just a really, really thin dough, and you'll see as I roll it out here. This is what they use to make baklava, the really kind of famous Greek dish.
Right.
And it's just paper thin little sheets of dough. It's really, really delicate. So I'm going to lay one right here. And it's also really important that you keep the phyllo dough covered up when you're not using it, because it tends to get dried out and it's going to crack.
Yeah, you can tell it's really thin.
It's really fragile. So we're going to use 2 sheets, and in between we're going to spray it with a little bit of cooking spray.
All right.
So normally, when you're making recipes with phyllo dough, usually you brush it with butter, and you brush it with lots and lots of butter. And not only is that unhealthy, it's a little messy, and the brush kind of breaks up the phyllo dough. So I think it works just as well with the cooking spray.
Great.
So 2 sheets.
2 sheets. All right.
And then give that another spray.
Okay. Just all over?
All over.
It's like bug spray, but not. Okay, awesome.
So each 2 sheets is going to make 4 appetizers. So hand me the pizza cutter. This is the really easiest way to do this instead of using a knife. So I'm going to cut the phyllo in half, just all the way down.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cut each one of these in half.
All right. So 2 sheets makes 4.
Right.
Awesome.
And the phyllo dough, in the package, you get 2 rolls of it, and 1 roll will make about 20 appetizers.
Wow.
So if you use a whole package, you get about 40. So you can put anything in here. It's really great. It's a great way to use leftovers. If you have leftover Christmas turkey or ham or something, just throw whatever you got in the fridge. So I've got a few different ideas. So hand me that little bowl there. I already sauteed some mushrooms and onions with a little bit of fresh thyme.
Yeah.
And so this is a nice little vegetarian option.
Great.
So I'm going to put just a small amount, maybe a teaspoon or so.
Okay, so you really don't need much.
Because we're going to fold these up and roll them into little triangles, and they're going to get a lot bigger as we roll them up together.
Great. Can I tell you something? Now, this is why I can't be a chef, because I'm looking at all these ingredients, and every time I start cooking, I end up eating everything out of the bowls, so that I have no ingredients left. So I'm behaving right now, because I'm watching.
You're
this.
welcome to snack as you go.
There's those chocolates that I'm just like, all right, this is why I don't cook.
And that's why it's great just to use whatever you've got in your kitchen.
All
so
right.
let me show you how to fold up one, and then you can do a couple of the others.
Okay.
So we're going to fold one of these rolls in half on a diagonal, so we have kind of a little triangle shape there.
Okay.
And then I'm going to fold it again, but fold it away from itself. So we're going to fold it up like a flag.
Okay.
So I'm going to maintain that little triangular shape. So this time I'm going to go this way.
Oh, wow.
Always keeping the triangle, and then like that, and then just keep going back and forth until you're all the way at the end.
So this one strip makes one whole one. Okay. Wow.
Right. And then when you get at the end, you just fold over.
And
There's a
voila!
little triangle.
You got it.
So this is the mushroom and onion with some fresh thyme.
Yeah.
Let me show you one more time, and then I'll have you do the other 2.
I don't know if I'll remember that.
So the first part, you're not going to seal in all of the filling right away. That's okay. You just want to create that triangle shape.
Okay.
That straight edge there. And then we're going to fold over this way. So you always have that angle. So it's like geometry. Did you like geometry?
No, not at all.
So the thing is, if you are making ones with different fillings, it's important that you have a way for your guests to be able to distinguish what's inside there.
That is key.
So we're going to decorate them a little bit on the top. So a little more spray.
Okay.
And then, so this one has the fresh thyme and onions and mushrooms. So I'm going to use a little more fresh thyme and just sprinkle on the top. So that's going to distinguish what is inside of those.
So now we know.
Now we know.
I
So
like
you can put those over on the cookie sheet.
All right,
I'm going to get a couple more sheets ready, and I'll show you a couple other variations.
Okay.
So these can go just on a regular cookie sheet baking pan. You don't need to spray it or anything. And they can actually be made ahead of time.
Okay.
So if you want, you could put them on the cookie sheet and put them right in the freezer.
Oh.
And then you can freeze them and just take them out whenever you need them.
Wow.
And just cook them from frozen.
Good to know.
So
do you have any, holiday tips or tips in general when it comes to serving food at parties? Key things that we can all learn from.
A couple important things. When you're having a party, like a cocktail party or something with appetizers, you want to plan for about 4 to 5 pieces per person per hour. So if you've got a party where it's going to go on for a while, you need to think about that. But they're also going to eat less as the night goes on.
We hope.
So let me show you a couple other options that you could do. I like to put a little fresh Granny Smith apple.
Nice.
And a little blue cheese.
Oh, yes. Good combination, always.
Granny Smith, or you could use pears. That's really good. You could use goat cheese instead.
Whatever you might have in your kitchen,
exactly.
right?
You can do a turkey and cranberry.
Oh, look at this. These are great combinations.
So I've just got some leftover turkey. It can be from your holiday dinner. It can be deli turkey. You just want to make sure whatever you put in here, you want it to be nice and small. You want really small pieces, because if it's too big, it's going to break the dough.
Yeah.
Then the cranberries, I soaked in a little bit of cranberry juice to soften them up a little bit.
Okay, great.
So they're not too chewy. But you could soak them in orange juice or even a little water. Great. So I'm going to go ahead and fold up these blue cheese and apple ones.
Well, and the great thing is, it's like these ingredients go a really long way.
They do. You don't need a lot at all.
You're using not a lot, so I can see how you can make a lot of these for, a party.
And that's really important, that you don't put too much in. A couple of the key things are, go with maybe 2 or 3 ingredients and make sure that you're only using about a tablespoon of actual stuff in there, because too much is you'll have a blowout. You're gonna have the dough is gonna break, or the cheese is gonna leak out. We can do this together. Oh.
Wow, multitasking, teamwork. Getting your party done in quick amount of time. Yeah, no, that's great. Which one's your favorite that you've ever made?
I'm going to show you my favorite one in just a second here, which is the chocolate one.
I'm a chef!
Yes, it's beautiful. And look at mine. Mine broke, so I have got a terrible failure there. But just fold it up.
It's like you can save it no matter what.
You can.
So I'm sorry, what did you say your favorite was?
One of the other variations that we probably don't have time to do that one today, but you can use a little chocolate chips and almonds, and I have some mascarpone cheese, so you have a nice sweet version, or you could use cream cheese or creme fraiche. It's just a nice little sweet
So you can
ending.
Satisfy your taste buds with this in a lot of ways. The salty, the sweet, whatever you're going for.
You can go spicy or savory.
I'm digging this.
So for the ones that I made with the blue cheese and pear, or blue cheese and apple, the blue cheese and apple ones, I'm going to grate a little fresh nutmeg on the top.
Oh, nice.
My fresh little nutmeg grater here. And that, again, that's going to distinguish what's in there.
Which is very important because,
And then for the turkey and cranberry ones, little spritz.
Great.
Just to make it stick. And a little fresh ground pepper.
Wow.
So that way you can always tell your guests, okay, the ones with the pepper have turkey, the ones with the thyme are vegetarian, and you can put a little cocoa powder on the ones that have the chocolate in it. And then these just go into the oven.
All right.
About 12 to 15 minutes, 350, until they're just nice and crispy and golden brown.
Wow, I know what I'm doing at my next party. This is great.
And then, of course, we have some already done.
Yes. Oh, look. So if you do it right, this is how it should look.
So I have these really pretty display plates, and that's really important when you're having a party. Find some fun plates and things. Go off the track and maybe find something vintage or recycled. Go to some of the resale shops. But this is a fun shape. This, I think, is from just a Crate and Barrel or something.
Oh, I love Crate and Barrel.
You can get two of them and put them together. But we have the ones with the thyme, our delicious mushroom and onion ones. The cocoa powder here are chocolate flavored ones, and I've got the ones with the turkey. So should we give them a try?
Yeah.
Pick your favorite. I'm gonna go.
I gotta go for the chocolate.
I gotta go with the.
It's my weakness.
Mushroom.
Okay. Thank you so much, Chef Mike, for joining us today. This was great.
You're welcome. It's been my pleasure to be here.
Oh my God.
Delicious, right?
This is so good.
And really easy.
I had so much fun with Chef Mike Chapter. And for more great cooking tips, check out Urban Kitchen on gaytvonthego.com.
If you want to become part of the conversation, of course, follow us on Facebook or Twitter using #CoffeeBreakTV. Thank you for watching. We'll see you soon.